After playing Outriders for a little bit of time now and having other games to distract myself with, do I think that Outriders is still worth a purchase? Is Outriders still worth about 80 bucks Australian? In this video I will share my thoughts on all of this with you, so please stick around, let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Gyro here. We are talking about Outriders again. Outriders is a fantastic game, but after playing it for a little bit and having other prominent distractions right now, such as Path of Exile, Diablo, other kind of games, do I still believe that the game is worth a purchase? For example, for those people who are still considering to buy Outriders, who are maybe gathering their information about the game, especially from a casual perspective. When you play many games, you're just a bit bored, so you are thinking, well, that game still has a pretty high price tag, should I buy it? So today I will share my thoughts on Outriders, and as I already said, I will compare Outriders from the game perspective, value perspective, to other sources of entertainment that we have at our fingertips right now, which hopefully will help you make a decision whether you should invest yourself into this game and invest money into this game. If you are impatient and if you would like to just hear my verdict, please, as always with my videos, use the timeline of the video and timestamps in the description, you impatient person. Just kidding. To decide if Outriders is worth your while and money, we'll have to take a look at what are we comparing Outriders as a source of entertainment to. What other games? Because entertainment itself is surely worth it over a certain amount of time, over a certain stretch of time. Question is, does that source of entertainment have to be Outriders for you right now, as a casual person trying to find a game, something else to do? Does it make sense? I think that is the logic and the philosophy of this whole discussion that we're going to be talking about. So first of all, it depends if shooters are your main thing or not. Do you like shooter games or not? Secondly, it depends on how excited and drawn you are right now to other games that are competing for our attention. Alright, well, let's take a look at the short list. Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is a shooter, somewhat, I suppose, in the sci-fi kind of universe, it's similar to Outriders, but as I said in a video that I published a few weeks ago, when I was just initially getting excited about Outriders, I still believe and stand by this statement that Destiny 2 is too sterile and kind of too bloodless and too stale as well, as a kind of as a game, as a source of entertainment. I think that Bungie needs to do something about it, and it needs to do something about it very, very soon before it loses more and more people playing it, as I know that the game has been kind of bleeding its population over time. They had a spike when they moved to Steam, they had a spike there, but I don't think enough is happening in it right now. Subjectively, that's what I think. Then I have to mention Division 2. Division 2 is a shooter, another shooter, fantastic, good shooter, nice, good player base, has its own little place under the sun. I love the mechanics of it and the detail of it. I really like it. But again, the game is stale, at least in my opinion, so that's not a competition to Outriders. Finally, I will mention here Borderlands. Borderlands is a fantastic, fun shooter, all of that kind of stuff. Classic, real classic. But at this stage of my life, it is too whimsical and silly for me to enjoy continuously. That is what I honestly believe, and I personally need something a little more grown up. And that's what Outriders is. Okay, we've gotten rid of the list of the competing shooter-like games here. Then, obviously, when we continue talking about what else competes for our attention right now as games are concerned, Path of Exile, New League, Ultimatum. I'm publishing videos about it, I'm very much into it, it is definitely front and center of my attention span right now, possibly is the same for you. Diablo Season 23, still kind of fresh. No, I mean, look, it's not the first week, it's not the peak of excitement, but it's still very much there. Then we have to mention World of Warcraft patch 9.1 PTR that just came up and there are some things there, some rustling there happening. We kind of have to talk about it in a few minutes as well. I have to give it justice. So again, going back to Path of Exile as the front and center, I mentioned to you something that distracts me a lot and entertains me a lot. Path of Exile is completely free, and it's closer, much closer spiritually, by design, by the look of it, to my main lineup of games. Hence, it could be closer to yours than some new shooter such as Outriders. Diablo is the closest comparison to Path of Exile. I find Path of Exile addressing my needs much more so than Outriders does. You know what I'm saying? Diablo Season 23 was a fantastic, great start for me. Spike of entertainment, spike of excitement. It's always very exciting to get your fresh, free, new armor set and blow through a few rifts until you hit your personal best ceiling of Greater Rift level in Diablo, which for me usually stops being mindless fun between Greater Rift 60 and Greater Rift 70, depending on the spec, depending on the character that I'm playing. That is when I lose interest, that is when I don't want to keep grinding, because it gives me nothing, the immediate fun is lost, and this is where Path of Exile offers me more depth and wins for me when we compare Diablo to Path of Exile. So again, we have a winning game here, which is Path of Exile so far. Outriders is still secondary, very secondary, even if it's still in the running, but we're getting there. Now, I mentioned World of Warcraft 9.1 PTR. As you know, especially as my regulars know, World of Warcraft has been my main game for many years, but currently I'm burnt out, and if you're not, good for you, I don't judge. PTR rollout is unexciting for me, and I would rather wait. I am not desperate for WoW content for my channel, as I'm a gamer first, and I said that many times. I'd rather properly rest my eyes and head away from World of Warcraft, so that I can just give 9.1 a proper justice when it finally is released to live service, which at the moment, speculatively, is probably sometime in August, but I can see them getting desperate and pushing it out sooner, by the way, yeah. So to summarize and to offer you my verdict, for me personally, given the logic and lineup of other games competing for my attention offered to you in this video, if I have not bought the Outriders yet, like if you have not bought it yet and you want my advice, I would hold off until I start losing interest, for example, in Path of Exile. And similar for you, whatever your current primary preoccupation is, I would hold off. It's not like the stocks won't last. It's not like they're gonna run out of digital copies. You can jump on that bandwagon and fork out however much American dollars, or the equivalent of a little bit over 80 Australian dollars, which is a hefty sum of money, before you buy Outriders. And we're not criticizing quality, we're not reviewing the game, we're just talking about, is it worth, in my opinion, the value for money and competition for your time and my time right now, as well as putting a tiny bit of a strain on your entertainment budget of your wallet. Now, as I have bought Outriders already, I honestly can tell you that I don't regret it, and this is where we slightly touch on the quality of the game. I still believe that Outriders has a lot of potential for me. I just didn't get into it properly yet. My main Devastator is level 18 right now, level 18, and I'm slowly progressing through campaign and I'm enjoying it. I have other thoughts on Outriders, which would be maybe a more proper review of the game, especially if you want me to, because this video is not a review of Outriders the game. It is about me saying, do I still feel like I want to play it? Is it worth my time? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your purchase? This is the angle of this game. It's not about the quality of what is good and what is bad about Outriders, because there are plenty of both points to make. Both points. I've seen enough of Outriders to tell you that I can see both good and not so good about it. I honestly do. I honestly do. But overall, I still think that Outriders is probably the best looter shooter for me personally right now to switch to from Path of Exile, if I want to, periodically. Only because I already forked out the money and I already own the game. I feel like jumping into Path of Exile as soon as the new League Ultimatum launches, and I'll keep talking to you guys and girls about it, as I always do for all of my games, from a casual and non-pro, unpretentious kind of perspective. So I honestly don't feel like diving deep into coverage of Outriders yet. If you own it, fantastic. Even if you switch to Path of Exile for a bit, it's good to have Outriders there at the back. That's what I think. But if you have not bought it yet, basically exhaust your interest and exhaust your time, exhaust your investment into whatever it is that currently interests you first, and then acquire Outriders. There might be discounts later down the track when you're ready to play it. But right now, I could take it or leave it. At the moment, my focus is Path of Exile, just happens to be. But I'm a casual player, I shift, I eat different food on different days, as I sometimes use as a metaphor, to better explain how I approach gaming, and I think it's a very healthy approach. But you tell me in the comments down below, like I already invited you to share with me your thoughts. Do you play Outriders? Can't you wait for the new season of Path of Exile? Are you still in Diablo? Are you still in World of Warcraft? Where are you generally, my people? Because everyone is welcome in this very casual club. We are not just specializing on one particular strong brand right now, simply because none of them are strong enough. World of Warcraft lost its moment, and I hope that it will regain it with the live release of 9.1, but once again, speculatively people are saying that it could be as late as August. August! Really, good luck to us all. I'll be speaking with you once again in a couple of days' time. Videos are still being released twice a week. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, please consider doing so, because we welcome new people, new ideas, new points of view into this casual gaming channel all the time. Love talking to you and respond to all non-troll people in the comments below my videos. Like the video as well if you did like it, for what it's worth, because it's only a second of your time to click that like button, but YouTube then knows that you like it and it will offer it to more people, helping us grow this little club. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be speaking with you very soon. See you later. Bye bye.